midnight dream, damnest thing you've ever seen. I like the likes of her. Where do I get me one of those girls? A farmer's daughter, homecoming queen, likes to fight, but a sweet little thing. She can drink iced tea and throw back a shot. Now there ain't much going, that girl ain't got.
This year, my baby and I have decided that it's going to be the year she gets a deer. We've hunted before and had a lot of fun, made a lot of memories, but she's never actually killed one herself.
Till now, right? So as many of you all know, I'm Jazmin Holbrook. I'm a chapter leader for Wildlife Women. This is my mom, obviously. But I finally got my first deer, November 3rd, 2018. So that is, mark your calendar, day to remember. Full cycle has came around, and it was my turn now.
I know I teased her a little bit about it being the complete full circle and actually better than graduation or anything for me, because not only did she complete this task after months and months and months of hunting and trying, and actually several years we've been, it was just the ability that now she could take care of herself and feed herself.
To kill your own food and then field dress it and butcher it and then cook it and eat it yourself is just crazy. It's crazy to me. It's awesome.
It's a great feeling for me too, knowing that one, she wants to be here and she wants to carry on and pass these traditions down to her children, but to know that she can do it herself and take care of herself and can do it independently, it was probably one of my most ever proud mommy moments.
No, I'm getting emotional here.
I may shed another tear.
Don't cry.
Here we go. We are on our way to our lease in northern Kentucky, and Miss Jazz is going to be behind the bow.
I want to say my first hunt, my first like real hunt. I've been before, but we didn't see anything. So hopefully this time we'll see something, and I'm gonna get me some meat.
We are so excited. We have made our pit stop at Cabela's for some last minute things, getting some food, and then we will be heading in the blind.
Got me some boots. I'm ready to go. Got my pecans.
Y'all, I can't tell you what this feels like to see her this excited. I have got butterflies in my stomach to be taking my daughter. And
Same.
wish us luck. It will be nothing any better than seeing her kill her first deer.
We're already making plans to like go to Washington and like go on this big hunt. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
Larry
let's
Rankin,
finish
she just
today.
told me she wants a mule deer.
Yeah, I need some mule deer meat. That stuff's too good. But
right.
Wish me luck.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody else. So Wildlife Women has been in effect for about 3 years now, but years ago I started taking Jazz into the woods, and I know it was a little bit scary for her, but it was also scary for me to have her out there in the wilderness and the animals, and as young as she was, I think you were what, 12 maybe? 13?
I think I started shooting bow when I was probably 10 years old, maybe 11.
Yeah.
It definitely was before I was 12, though. I think it was probably.
Yeah, you were shooting before we actually took a trip into the woods.
First into the woods trip, probably 12, 13
12,
maybe.
13. So we had several adventures, a few scary things, and most of the time we'd see a deer from a far off distance, and if we didn't, we'd get out of the blind and pretend we were deer to entertain ourselves.
We'd walk in front like this.
So even though we were having a great time and giggling too much probably for anything to come in front of us to shoot.
I got a little tense. I think it's just another pet squirrel. Get a good shot.
It's not Princess Huntcans.
I got bad shoulders.
It made a lot of memories, And she was learning about the woods and to be quiet and to reduce our scent and what to watch for. And every time we went, yes, we had a blast and probably shed a few tears of laughter, but each time added to build up to this final time that she actually did, it was able to harvest a deer.
So, we're just patiently waiting for something to come by that's not a squirrel. Or a cow. Or a cow.
SemoCamo.com, the best the outdoor industry has to offer. From trees and camouflage to Woodhaven custom turkey calls, we try to carry only the best products. We carry Indian Creek choke tubes as well as no scent products. We also carry a full line of scent attractants. Remember, SemoCamo.com, the best the industry has to offer.
There's so much that goes into it, all the practice and the research and the reading and getting up early and the failures even that goes into it. It was just really great to be able to do that with my daughter.
And I'll tell you now, practicing shooting a target is not even close to how it feels when you're actually about to shoot a real deer. The nervousness, the adrenaline, the anxiety, you're like, it overwhelms you almost when you're actually shooting at the real thing instead of just the target. The target's like, oh, okay, boom, boom, you can shoot it. No need to worry about it. You're not getting all worked up, but the real deal is like, you're just shaking like this, trying to make sure you're calm. You got to calm yourself down. You got to think about it. You got to regroup yourself, and it's just comparing the two is actually really hard. So,
yeah, and that was one of the hardest things to convince her of because actually she is a fantastic shot. You can hand her a bow when she's not even picked up one in a year, and it's dead on the target multiple times, which makes it hard to convince her that when it is an animal, it is different.
It actually moves. It can move, and it'll look at you, and you can't move when it looks at you. So,
and even a 3D target is different. So earlier in the season, we'd practiced just on squares. We had practiced outside shooting.
Did right there.
And she did actually make a shot at a deer once and missed.
Funny story. Yeah.
Which you'll hear in the end.
And I had a bad shot the first time we actually went out, and we're like, okay, I'm going to finally get a deer. The first time we tried, I shot at the deer.
Thacker Grigsby is constantly working to bring the latest technologies home. Home, where we live and work in this community, a place we want to see grow and prosper. Thacker Grigsby is committed to a Fiber to the Home project, which will bring every home and business in our service area fiber within a 5-year period. We're halfway there, but we won't stop until we reach our goal. And that's a big deal. We're committed to serving you and our community.
course, we went several times this season trying to get her a deer, and each time she learned something new, so we had to incorporate that into our pep talk and our practice session and all that good stuff. So I wanted to be really careful not to worry her or deter her from wanting to be a hunter, even though she made mistakes, but also wanted her to learn from them so that she could actually make it happen when the deer come out in front of her. So the night before we went and hunted, I'd noticed, she was struggling a little bit, standing up, sitting down, different things with shooting, and just wanted to make sure she was comfortable. So we took that time to shoot in different light even. So the night before we shot.
Shot in the daylight,
yeah.
shot when the sun was going down, standing up, sitting down at a different angle, having to stop mid-stand up to stop moving.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
And that was my debut as an actor because I was pretending to be the deer.
She was cueing me. She was cueing me. All right, now you see the deer.
It worked. So.
Of course, there were giggles involved too. When there are not giggles involved when we're together. So
That's true. That's so true. But it worked, and she got to feel the differences in your posture, in your anxiety level, and how it feels to pull the bow back. So all those different things came into play the very next day on the hunt. So it was a great thing to do, and we highly recommend, especially if you are a new hunter, to make sure you are doing these and sitting, standing, different positions, different lighting, because I'm often told that the deer don't always read the script.
I guarantee you, definitely important to practice before you go, because if you are in mid-drawback and that deer looks at you, you have to stop. And you have to use everything in your power to hold that bow in mid-pullback, and it is very difficult. So if you don't practice, you're going to be pew in the hole.
Yeah, so the practice made perfect, and now we're getting ready, making sure all our gear is washed and unscented stuff, and got everything packed, and doing our check and double check, and getting ready to head out really early in the morning.
4:45 in the morning.
You ready? Yeah, what we gonna do?
We go get us a deer. We
Ready to
gonna
go?
get her done.
Dead right there.
Dead right there.
So we're up and at 'em bright and early, and of course you guys know that that's not my favorite time in the morning. But we're on the way and going over all our do's and don'ts and trying to get ready for this hunt. We walk in the dark, and of course she's learned a lot about lighting, and I've enjoyed being able to teach her and have her by my side going in the morning, because it's not my favorite time to go in alone either. And so we get in the blind and we get all set, and part of this experience that I'm learning is actually how to film. So I'm trying to set up the cameras, trying to think about making sure she's doing everything right, getting myself in a position where I can catch things on film and all that. And I'm not going to lie and say that was a success for everything, but we are learning the process, and I definitely give credit to people that self-film, because this has been harder for me to learn than to actually hunt. So it just adds to all the checklists in your mind. But we're in there, and you could maybe tell a little bit how you felt sitting in the dark, and can't
It's
see your
kind of
face.
scary. It's kind of
Can't
scary,
see
I'm
your
not
hand
going to
in front
lie,
of your
because you can, wave your hand in front of your face and you can't even see it. So having a quick flash your forehead light, just get everything situated. But sitting there and just waiting for the sunrise, and you hear all these crazy noises, and obviously you get this fat squirrel coming around, and you think it's a grizzly bear. So you're like, oh, I'm about to die. Something's about to eat me. And then all of a sudden you find out it's a squirrel that's only like this big. So
We had a friend that come in the blind that day 1,000,000 times, and there's a big tree that blocks part of our blind, and it just would show up right in your face, and like, hello.
I remember it dropped down from the top. This squirrel, there was a really big fat squirrel. It was about this big. It probably looked like a cat, okay? So it drops down from the tree, and it's right in our face in the blind when the sun was rising. So it was early in the morning when that happened. It was hilarious, because you're like dead looking at this squirrel in its eyes.
And everybody knows it does sown like a big buck coming in when it's a squirrel. But that morning, I know that she was definitely becoming a huntress, because during dark hours when we were just sitting there waiting and listening and prepping, you could see, that things were moving out there, but of course it was just now breaking daylight. And as it got a little lighter and a little lighter, I could tell that it was a buck. out there. And we had a couple pretty good bucks coming on camera that I hadn't even been blessed to see while I was hunting either. So here this buck is, and it's, you know, it's shooting like, but still a little bit difficult for her to see, and she made an excellent call and didn't try to take a bad shot. And to me, even if she didn't get a deer that day, that was just a great testament to her and her knowledge and what she's learned, and that she has a true heart of a sportsman. And I really was glad for her to make that call.
I mean, I couldn't see it good. I felt like I didn't have a clear shot. I knew that I wouldn't make my best shot, so I just decided to let it pass instead of making a mistake. So.
And you guys know, as a hunter, that's a hard decision, because you think sometimes that is your last chance.
Yeah.
And it's a hard decision, you know, whether or not to take it if you can't see it. I could see it, and she couldn't. And so that was just absolutely her call, and it was a great one. So I'm really proud of you for that one.
Thank you. That was the morning I actually got my deer,
Yeah,
though.
it was the same
morning.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the same day that I actually got the doe that I killed my first deer. So that morning when the sun first started rising was when that buck came out.
Yep.
So I still got one that day, just not the first one.
So we sat for quite a long while after that, and enjoyed, you know, several deer coming in and out, and finally one came in, and I could tell she was ready. She had that look on her face like this doe is in trouble.
Yeah. And the whole the practicing standing up and sitting down shooting helped a lot, because there were plenty of times where I halfway stood up and had to stop. And there were times where I halfway drew back and had to stop, because either the doe would turn its head and see me, and I had to just completely stop everything. But
And she did a great job, because, you know, it was a little skittish, of course. It was, I don't know, probably 20 yards away, and would just keep looking over at us, and then take another couple steps and look over at us and take another couple steps. And she just really did great holding the bow that long. And you know, the whole thing, everything we practiced the night before came into play, like she just said, and it's a hard thing to wait for that right moment, but she did. She waited for it to get broadside, and it was a beautiful sound.
it was a beautiful sound.
What just happened? I think I just got a doe. Look at my hand. I can't feel my legs.
I recommend some meditation before you draw back, because the amount of nervousness that overtook my body was insane. I literally felt like I had Elvis leg going on, so my leg was shaking so hard. I had to calm myself down while I had the bow drawn back.
Yes.
Like, I literally had to breathe and focus on my breath and focus on how nervous I was and calm myself down before I made my shot. Because if you make a shot and you're nervous and shaking, you're not going to be very accurate with it. So I knew I had to calm myself down and really focus and be like, all right, you got this, you can do this. And then once I told myself that and calmed myself down a little bit, I let go and got a double lung. So
It was awesome.
Look at that. Look at Okay. We might have us a deer down.
We heard a crash.
We heard her fall. We're gonna go check it out. Okay. Just let me get my composure real quick.
My heart's hurting just as bad as yours is.
I didn't breathe for a solid 2 minutes.
So she says, did I get it? And I hear the shot, and it sounds like she got it, but it was such a great shot. It was double lung. And I said, let's go see before we get excited.
I heard it. I wasn't even questioning it. I was like, all right, I got it. I heard it. It's done. It's dead. I know it is. Dead. Deer down. Deer down.
So I wanted to go look and make sure, and I knew, but I also wanted her to know what to look for. So we go out, you know, where the shot was made, and find this arrow that is covered in blood and in the mud. So obviously it passed all the way through the deer.
See if we got blood.
That arrow's got blood all over it.
Does the arrow have blood on it? Go look and see if the arrow has blood on it.
It's covered in blood.
It is?
The whole
Oh
thing.
my God, there's blood everywhere. It went through her, James.
I think I finally did it. Look at it. It's covered. It went through.
It went all the way through her.
It went all the way through. I did it. I know she's down. I heard her fall.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Mommy. She's down, man. She's dead.
So we heard a crash. Let's just go.
She's dead right there, man. We gotta go find her.
Let me go. No, just leave
God,
it.
this is a mud pit.
It's a big mud pit. All right,
I
let
don't
me
even
go.
care. I'll make it mud angels in it. I don't even care. I can't believe I just did that.
Wait, we gotta wait.
We
Don't
gotta-
get your hopes up. We gotta find her.
Let me just chill out, okay?
There's blood everywhere though. All right, so I'm gonna go.
I
Here's
got
what
the
you want to
Elvis
do.
leg.
Here's what you want to
Whose
do.
markers are those?
That's landmarkers. But here's what we gotta do now. Now this is how the first part of tracking, okay? We found great blood.
Straight
The arrows went all the way through.
The arrows went all the whole way through.
Now, here's what you do next. We gotta go back and get our marking tape. Okay. So we can mark the track. I don't think she's that far because I heard the crash. But we gotta make sure we're reloaded first. And you gotta
Reloaded,
listen.
ready.
But listen, we still gotta creep up because she may be alive, okay? And we gotta creep up. You did perfect. You did perfect.
So as soon as we found the arrow and it was covered in blood, shortly after, probably a minute, maybe not even a minute, probably 30 seconds, we heard a big thump, like a crash. You heard sticks breaking and leaves crumbling or whatever. And that's when I was just completely overwhelmed with like just tears. I mean, I just started bawling my eyes out because it was like you're overwhelmed with excitement and the adrenaline. You're like, I really did it, which obviously we hadn't found it at this point, so we hadn't started tracking it yet. But I just knew, like in my heart, I knew that I had got this deer.
And I was so excited. I was trying to take it in, but yet capture that on film too. So you'll see some of the excitement. She was just shaking so hard, and she couldn't even talk.
I couldn't even stand up. I think my knees were like, it was halfway like sitting down almost. I was
like,
bent
"Now
over.
I know." Yeah. She said, now I know why people do this. This feeling is crazy. I think it's the closest thing to cocaine I'll ever feel.
I was like, it feels like I just took drugs. Like, this is crazy. I'm shaking. My eyes are wide open. I'm like, oh, God. I'm crying. If somebody wouldn't have known the situation I was in, I would have probably got admitted into a psych ward. But
But it was good. We're pretty confident at this point. We're celebrating a little bit, and I was videoing her because I wanted her to feel that emotion, because I think that's one of the things I didn't believe was real before I actually killed my first animal. I didn't believe buck fever was real. I didn't believe you could actually feel all this adrenaline, but it's true, and it's great to feel it yourself. But it's even better, that I got to see her, feel that, and even capture it. So now we have it as a memory forever. So it was pretty cool.
I'm so excited.
We heard a crash. Let's just hope she's really down. We gotta track her blood. I see the arrow.
That went straight through her.
I think it did too.
I thought I was an adrenaline junkie before I killed this deer, and then the feeling that I got after doesn't even compare to any type of roller coaster or anything like that out there. So it was pretty neat. Reminiscing.
It's awesome. So another part of hunting that I wanted to make sure she had the full experience is tracking the animal. So we went, of course, to the spot we found the arrow, and she picked up again on that just as natural. And I was really, really excited because it was a really hard day to track. It had been raining, and showing her the leaves and how to look for blood. And thank God the animal didn't go very far, but she tracked it herself and came right up on it. And it was exciting to actually say, look, there it is.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The leaves were wet, so it was definitely hard to find. Like the dark brown leaves, you can't hardly see blood on those. But I tracked it, and I found it. So.
All right, so now before you step, yeah, you got it right there. It's a lot harder to track right now where these leaves are wet. So before you step,
Look.
you want to look for the blood and then find out which direction she go. Yeah. Now one thing
So
we can
I'm
look
thinking
at,
she
look.
went this way.
What else? Do you see anything else that you'd
she
look for?
slid right
Yep,
here.
she slid right
And
there.
she slid right there too.
Right. Perfect.
And look, there's more blood right there.
Perfect. Good job.
And then she slid. And then
Here's a slide over here. I just don't know if it's hers. It looks like it might be, but
there's blood on that tree limb.
blood where?
She went up. Look.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Awesome. You might be a natural born
blood on there.
tracker. Blood on there.
There's blood. I don't know. Never mind. I think it's just a
That's
wet
liquid.
leaf. So I'm going to step up. Because there's some right here. And there's some. Wait, no, that's just a pinkish leaf.
Okay, let's look before we move. Let's see if we find any more. You can look up high on tree branches and limbs and everything. And don't get excited because you can get your. Now I know she went up the hill. I just want to find here. All right, good job. There's blood right there. Blood on that green. Don't watch your arrow.
I got my first tear.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, God.
Yep, you want to poke her, see if she's alive.
She's dead.
Babe, right there.
Oh my God.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so cute. You have no idea.
I did it. I finally did it.
No idea.
I love you.
I love you
I want to flip her. It went
too.
out.
Just wait. You can flip her. You shot on the other side.
I know, but I think
Let's give it a minute. Make sure she's dead.
it came out right here.
So how was that feeling when you actually seen it laying?
Oh, I lost it again. It was a whole. I lost it the first time whenever I heard it crash and saw the blood on the arrow, and then once I saw it, I lost it again because it was like official, like victorious. I was like, I feel like a warrior.
And there's a picture to prove that.
There is a picture to prove that. There are many pictures to prove that, but it was definitely cool to be a part of all of that myself, and to know that I did it from beginning to end, and then to finally find it was just like, that's it. I
And
really
she
did
just
it.
kept saying, I did it,
I
Mama,
did it,
I
I
really did it. I really did it. It was great. It was absolutely wonderful.
I felt on top of the world.
Then you start coming down.
Yeah. Yeah, after all the excitement and the adrenaline rush, it's like, I don't even know what to compare it to, but I was so up here, and then once I started coming down from it and we field dressed it and cleaned it and all that stuff, I crashed. And I mean, I crashed for hours, completely knocked out, asleep. And my body had been through so much, and it was so tense for so long, and then just to have some relief of all the aftermath and to know that I did it and it's done and can't wait to do it again. It's just,
Yeah, I think that was my favorite line, is when she said, I cannot wait to do this again. So we have actually booked another hunt together. We are going to Washington State, which I went a couple of years ago, to hunt with Dead Man Creek Outfitters. And we're really excited to be going on this hunt together for a mule deer.
yummy.
So hopefully you see that too.
At TVS Cable, we are committed to providing you with the best broadband available, whether that be through expansion of our fiber-to-the-home facilities, new builds into previously unserved areas, or by launching DOCSIS 3.1, the latest technology in cable broadband. TVS Cable has always changed with the demands of Eastern Kentucky, and we will continue to make investments in our area because we care about Eastern Kentucky. It's our home too.
I'm Tina Thornsberry, the owner and guide of Beaver Creek Outfitters in beautiful Knott County, Kentucky, the elk capital of the East. If you were lucky and you drew a tag to come hunt in Kentucky, give us a call at 606-369-6594. Let Justin, Ross, Brad, or myself help you fill your tag of a lifetime.
Daddy.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I got a doe.
Yeah.
Yay! I got a doe.
Good for you.
Thank you. I did a really good shot too.
Awesome.
Yes. I'll send you pictures. I don't have any service, so I had to walk out to call you.
Okay.
Yay.
Big one or little? Or
Yeah, it's about medium size. She's not huge, but she's not little.
Yeah.
She's about medium. She's good size. Yes. I get to feed myself. Okay, well we have to go back and get her.
Okay. Fun part.
Okay, I'll send you pictures.
Nah, it's alright.
I'll send you pictures of me and the deer.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Hello?
Nani,
What?
I got a doe.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I got a doe. I just got it like an hour ago. Oh no, like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, well.
We had to track her down and she's dead.
Okay.
I had to come out and call you because I didn't have service.
I was wondering about you this morning.
Yes, I got one. She's about medium
Well,
sized.
Congratulations, girl.
Thank you.
Alice,
listen
I
to
was more
this.
proud than graduating college.
My mom said she was more proud of me graduating. Listen to this. It's the same one that I hit last time in the
You're
leg.
kidding.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
I know
you.
You're still the death, and I am too for you.
I'm
That's
so
wonderful,
excited.
Girl.
I'm so excited.
My granddaughter is the deer slayer.
Many more to come. It's an addiction now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to send you pictures later.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
John Cobb Sanders.
Yeah.
Get your butt over here. We got a thickums down.
You got a what down?
A thickums.
What y'all got?
We got a doe down.
Alright.
So come on.
Find her?
Huh?
You know where it's at?
Yeah, we've already tracked it. We had to come out and call.
Okay. I will, I'm actually in Cynthiana. I gotta run by the post office and I'll be out there. I'll be out there right when I say it's about 12.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Okay.
It'll be alright. It's cool enough.
That's what I was Gary asking.
Okay.
Should I go ahead, or you think it'll
yeah,
be all
I
right?
got it. I shot a good shot.
Of course, we take time now to do the whole photo shoot of our first deer. So there's pictures and pictures and pictures, and we're looking at the deer. It was a great double lung shot, and it didn't go that far. Everything's great, and we're examining the deer when we found.
Funny story. So the first time we went and I made my bad shot, this was the same deer that I shot, because when we went the first time, I heard something crack, and Mom was like, "Oh, you hit a tree, you hit a limb," and I was like, "I don't think that was a limb."
But we didn't find any blood.
We didn't
so
find
I
any
thought
blood
we
at
really
all. Yeah, and
Did hit a tree.
but the arrow was broke, but there was no blood on it. But there was some hair, so I was like, "Oh, maybe it just like skidded its foot or something like that." Come to find out, when we were examining the deer, there was a wound in its like ankle region, its lower leg, where I had shot it the last time, and it healed over. So the bone, I guess, is what it hit the first time. So this same deer, I was supposed to get it, right? I was supposed to get it. It was supposed to be
Deer
mine.
was meant to die in the hands of my daughter.
You gonna take the guts out here?
No, we'll take it up to the house. Because if you're going to hunt, you don't want those guts around here.
Oh, okay.
Just drag it.
Wait.
Grab it by the back legs and drag it. Jazz, let go.
Let go.
Let go, Jazz, and just,
Do you want to pull it?
Yeah.
yeah, let Jazz pull it down.
Watch when it starts going down the hill, the weight's gonna slide. I'll help you when you.
Hold on.
This is something else. She could probably pick
You
it up
can.
and carry it, Brute.
Now comes the hard part. We killed the deer. Adrenaline is wearing off, but we still have a lot of work to do. And one of the things I wanted to make sure I did this year was to field dress a deer, and that's part that I had to learn. We both had a lot of learning experience, but I'd never done the field dressing from beginning to end myself at all. So that was my goal. I wanted to do it for myself, for Wildlife Women, and of course for my daughter. However, I still made her help. And Cobb and I actually rent this farm, or lease this farm together, and he came to our rescue to talk me through it, because that's not something that I even really knew how to start. I'd only done bits and pieces. I've got a little blood here and there, pulled here and there, but never beginning to end. So that was definitely a experience.
That's the nasty part. That's the part that you don't look forward to.
Yeah. And thank goodness she did do a double lung shot, so the smell could have been a whole lot worse.
It was still bad.
It was bad, but still not. And he did great teaching me how to do it. Everything went pretty smooth. The worst thing was the heat. It had gotten warm up in the day, and I just remember when the heat hit me in the face, and my hands are down in this animal.
I gotta take a step back. I gotta take a step back for a second.
Like,
Hold that leg open for your mom. Lean up here. Lean up against that leg and hold it open. Yeah. That's what it's for.
You know, I'm like smells it.
give me a minute, because it was tough.
I got lightheaded. I get lightheaded kind of easy. So when I
Yeah.
smelled that and saw the heat coming out, I was like, "Oh, it's over. It's done. I got to go over here for a second."
But we did it, and Cobb knew that my desire was to do all this by myself, so he led us. He stood back and coached and made us do the lifting and everything, because he knew that it was something that I needed to learn and I'd put off for several years. So it was pretty cool that the first deer I ever field dressed was actually my daughter's, and she had her hands in it too. So.
Yeah, I had my hands in there. You see these nails? Look at these
come
things
in
are
handy.
actually pretty handy when you're gutting and field dressing a deer.
There were times I didn't even need a knife.
These things shed right
Dig
through
that
there.
spot. Dig it.
Ew. Feels great.
So we loaded up in the truck and take it home with intentions of even butchering it, so all the way through. It needed to hang for a little while, though, so we definitely took advantage of that and took a much-needed nap.
Yeah, during the hang time, we were sleeping. Hardcore sleeping. We got some food, stuffed our faces, and took a fat nap.
Which was wonderful. Tucked in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, perfect for a quiet weekend getaway or a fun-filled group adventure, visit us at Big Branch Cabins. Bring your ATV for some beautiful, scenic mountain riding. Our small cabin sleeps up to 4 people, and the big cabin sleeps up to 10, with another cabin coming soon. So bring the entire family. There's tons of parking and plenty of room to enjoy the outdoors. Cook out, play cornhole, hike, fish, or simply relax. Come visit us at Big Branch Cabin Rentals, nestled in the heart of Knott County.
So I've helped butcher some deer when I was younger with my dad, because he used to always go hunting and kill deer and then want me to help him. So skinning the deer and getting all the meat out I've done before, but I've never actually start to finish cut all the meat off myself, because when I was doing that I was young, so obviously my parents didn't want me holding sharp knives when I was 6 or 7. So
Now she carries them with her all the time.
and now they're with me all the time, right? But no, so after we took our nap, we butchered the deer and got all the good chunks of meat, and especially the back straps. That's my favorite part. So I made sure we got every bit of those out. And it's funny because I was in the blind and I was like, that's a good backstrap.
While it was still walking.
While it was still walking, that's what I was thinking, like, backstrap. That's what I look forward to. So, but yeah, she helped me butcher it some, and I butchered a lot of it, and just that whole process, it definitely was a handful, but it's fun because you're like, I'm going to be eating this later, marinated in some Dales, and it's going to be in my mouth sooner or later.
See how if you pull down on it and you keep tension, pull down, you keep tension on it. It just get under it.
Longer and protected from
Don't cut holes in your hide.
Made from stainless steel and forged deep in an active volcano. Bottle keeper is insulated to keep your beer cold and safe. And the custom cap seals in the frothy goodness. Order 11 now.
We were wore out though. It was just
yeah.
exhausting from 4 in the morning till I guess it was getting close to 11 when we actually got finished. I know it was really, really a long day, but a fabulous day, an exciting day, and to, we get home and actually get to eat, some of the deer she killed the first time we cooked it up. It was pretty amazing to eat was it backstrap? We cooked backstrap?
No, we cooked the heart first.
Oh, we did eat the
We
heart.
cooked the heart of it first, and that's the first time I've ever had deer heart. So the first time I've ever had deer heart, for it to be the deer that I killed, was pretty cool.
How does it feel to be eating your own harvest?
That's the best deer I've ever had in my life. It tastes better than any other deer I've ever had ever.
Even that one on the wall?
Okay, he tasted pretty good too.
But that's my favorite
feels
part.
Great. I've completed the cycle. This is completing the cycle.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You practiced, you killed it, you cleaned
Now I'm eating it.
You skinned it, you quartered it, and now you cooked it.
Can't tell me nothing.
And it tasted really good too. Yeah, no, we made the heart first.
That's good. Yeah.
And then I think we made the backstrap the same day though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we cooked them both at the same time.
It was really
It was
good.
good.
So now she can fill her own freezer.
Yeah. I filled my own freezer and I've been eating it since. So
Mission accomplished.
full circle complete.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Mommy. Oh, you're so cute.
The end.
That's it.
I can't think of nothing else. Good job.
That's fun.
It is